Hello everyone, it's Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie. I hope you are all having a fantastic day. I am going to be pulling up my video here so I can share it on my computer because my iPad doesn't want me to do anything ever. For some reason, I don't know why. Just doesn't do it. So we're going to be using the Warm Hug stamp set, and I forgot to print the photo, but we're going to be making some really cute tags, and we are going to be also wrapping a little box. I'm going to show you the box in just a second. Now, this box is something that you can order. They are called mini shipping boxes, and I have used them before in videos, I think. I have with this group, so hopefully I have. So let me grab all of our supplies. Now I'm going to show you the dies real quick too. These fit around those cute little cups that are in the catalog. So you cut with the dies and then you make these cute little cups. Anyway, but we are just going to be using some of the smaller stamps from here today for our tags. So let's grab all of our supplies. So as you can see, I have made one of the tags. This is the Avid tag. So that's the last tag we're going to make, but I'm going to show you 3 other ways to make it so it's not quite as difficult. I have all of my supplies here all together. I've even die cut all my little pieces out, but we're going to stamp them anyway just so you can see how cute they stamp. We've got all of our sprigs. Everything's all in one pile. Okay, so these are the mini shipping boxes. Now they do not come with this adhesive on them. I put that on there. And they just fold together, and you have one side that has the tab that folds in. Now that's supposed to be, turn it the wrong way, the bottom of your box, and this is supposed to be the top. But I like this part as the top of my box. So that is why I put 2 strips of tear and tape on the bottom here so we can adhere our box together. If I can get the backing off. So basically you're just gonna fold in your 2 pieces, and then I like to set it down and then give it a good press from the inside to make sure it's all stuck together. Hi Kathy, how are you? Thank you for joining. So there's our box. And now we're going to wrap some of the Heartwarming Hugs, I think it's called Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper around it. Let me make sure, yes, Heartwarming Hugs. And now this has, you can see I've used a lot of mine. I have 2 brand new packs, but this gives you an idea of all the beautiful little colors and things, because that's my last piece there on that one, or last whole piece. But it has fantastic, and it's all reds and greens, which I love. So let's just cut, this is 12 inches. We're just going to cut a 3-inch strip, and that's what we are going to wrap around our little box to get started. So we're just going to cut at 3. This is the one thing I didn't prep, right? The paper for this. All right, and now we could go ahead and score it, but I'm not going to get that fancy today. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use some tear and tape. Isn't that a pretty design on the back too, which we're going to use for the tags? I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape on one end and a piece of tear and tape on the other end, because these are both going to be stuck to the box. Nothing else is going to be stuck to the box. We're just going to wrap it around and kind of crease it as we go. So basically I'm going to start right here on the front. I'm pretty sure this fits exactly. We'll find out, right? If it doesn't, we'll be cutting a little bit off and adding a different piece of tear and tape. And then we know we're going to go around right here, so we're just going to go ahead and crease it. So much easier than trying to score it. I've done it where I've scored it, and the process is much, much longer. It's not going to ruin your box to do this, and it is. It's going to fit exactly. And then you're just going to take that piece of tear and tape and take that backing off. Just lay this down, stick it right to it, and then fold it. And then look at that. That just folds right in the box. How easy was that? Let me tell you, when I was trying to do measurements and scoring it, I scored it wrong every time. This is so much easier. And you can do it a little bit wider if you want to, but I kind of went by the photo that Stampin' Up! Shared today. It was about this wide. And I got a little bit crooked, you can see, but that's, you know, user error, not, not the process's error. The process error, it's just my own error for kind of doing it a little bit wonky. All right, I'm gonna set that aside and let's get started on some of these adorable tags. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grab some Whisper White, and this is, and I need to give you measurements because I did not write these down tonight, 1.5 by 2 inches wide. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp a yellow star in Bumblebee. That's the color, Bumblebee. We're gonna stamp it on the left toward the top. Then we're gonna use some Pear Pizzazz, and we're gonna do 2 different steps with this because we have an outline stamp and then we have the little stamp that fills it in. So we're gonna do the little outline and then we're gonna fill it in, and because they are photopolymer, it's easy to see where you need to fill them in. Now for this one, as you can see, what I did was I stamped off and then stamped it so it's much lighter on the inside. This one I did full strength. So you can do it either way. It really doesn't matter. And then grab some real red and we're going to stamp our heart. So now these tags that they shared, they are sharing, you know, how to do it again in 3 different levels. You know, we would always say beginner, intermediate, you know, expert, but Stampin' Up! Uses the terms casual, and now they're using Avid and Avid Plus or something, I don't remember. So these are 2 inches by 4 inches. So you can get quite a few of these tags out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And this is the scallop tag topper punch. As you can see, it just slides in, punches that off, and then you've got that gorgeous scallop tag top. And these are soft seafoam. And then we've got some more of that designer series paper. I cut it 2 inches wide by 2.5. And for the first tag, we are just going to adhere everything on flat. So you could use your Tombow glue here if you want to. It's, you know, whatever adhesive that you want to use, go ahead and use it. It doesn't have to be super fancy. You can just use your glue. That's fine. And then we're going to stamp Happy Christmas directly onto that piece of Whisper White. And I think they actually use dimensionals on this. So let's put some dimensionals on the back of it because, you know, even as the beginning one, it can have dimensionals on it, and that's okay. So you could do it either way. You could do it flat or with dimensionals. It doesn't matter. However you want to do it. And I did the die cutting ahead of time just because sometimes the die cutting, when you only have one die and you have a lot of these little pieces to cut out, it takes a long time. And I know your time is precious. And I want you to be able to enjoy time with your families and still view my videos. So there's the first tag. How cute is that? Now we're going to have an intermediate one, and I'm going to make this one as well, just so you can see how it's made. Because you really need to see how it's made because it's super cute. I have so many pieces cut out because I'm going to make myself some extra tags. All right, we've got our piece of Whisper White, our piece of soft seafoam. Go ahead and punch it. This one, because it's a larger one, you can feel it when it hits the end, so you don't always have to turn it over like I do normally, but it's up to you. All right, so for this one, I used some of those dies, and they have this, the Heartwarming Hugs dies, and they have this cute little scallop piece that goes around the little cups. But even though it's curved on a smaller piece like this, you can make it look straight. So grab some Tombow glue the easiest way I found to do it is using Tombow. Hold on to your little piece. If you can pick it up, hold on to it, right? Oh my goodness. And then glue it on. So any of you that are watching, say hello, let me know you're here. Also, do you have this set and have you made anything fun with it? Show me some pictures. So we're gonna do both sides, you know, top and bottom. So I'm gonna do the same thing, add a little bit of Tombow on here. And then we'll just stick that right on and trim it off. And look at that. Now, I wouldn't have thought to use this scallop. I would have thought, no, it's already curved. It's not going to fit on there right. But it does. With a smaller piece, it looks like just a straight little scallop, right? It's perfect. Then we've got our piece of designer series paper, and we're going to rip it a little bit. We're just going to kind of give it a little bit of ripped texture on there. And then we'll just use the Stampin' Seal Plus to stick it back down onto the tag. Again, leave just a little bit at the bottom with your soft seafoam because you want that poking through, right? Or peeking through. And then we're going to use dimensionals again, just because we can. This is America. We can use dimensionals whenever we want. And if you're in France and you're watching, you can use dimensionals when you want, or Germany, or wherever. I know sometimes I have viewers from other countries who love Stampin' Up! As well, because we have a European market, we have a South Pacific market. All right, go ahead and stick that on. Now we're not stamping directly on this one. We are going to use some of those pre-stamped, pre-die cut pieces. And we're going to just put some mini dimensionals on those as soon as I find my mini dimensionals. I have too many piles of dimensionals here. All right, so just put one on each. You don't have to do more than that unless you want to double them up and make these really stand up tall. One is plenty. And now when I'm using the dimensionals, and I probably should have done it even when I stamped, I should have did the tree first because the tree is in the center and you want to try to get this, everything centered. So let's hope that's centered. That looks pretty centered. What do y'all think? Give me some, give me some thumbs up or some hearts or something. Let me know I've got it right. And then go ahead and put your other little heart on there. And then we've got our little star to go on the left-hand side. Aren't these adorable? I love these. They're so cute and tiny. And now I'm going to have some extra Christmas tags to use at Christmas too. All right, grab a piece of petal pink. And then with that real red, we're going to stamp that same Happy Christmas. And now you can either use your paper trimmer or just use a pair of scissors. I'm just going to use a pair of scissors. And we are just going to trim that to a little strip. It's probably a little bit less than 1/2 inch. And it's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. We're leaving it. This is handmade, and if it's crooked, that's okay. It's really not horribly crooked. That's what I get for not using my paper trimmer, right? That'll teach me. It probably won't teach me, but we're just going to say it. We're just going to say it'll teach me. To put your Happy Christmas on there. And if you accidentally dip your finger in the red ink, wipe that off like I just did. Dipped it in that real red and got it on my pinky. So there's our intermediate or just Avid, and then this is Avid Plus. So this Avid Plus, let me tell you, playing with these and making that look like a wreath was not the easiest thing, but I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, because I didn't cut my pieces quite as long as I should have, I'm not going to rip the top of this one off this time. I ripped it off on this one, and then you can't see hardly any of that plaid behind there. So I'm going to leave it. I've already cut this out. Now these are the wrapped in texture embossing folder, one of the wrapped in texture embossing folders that comes with the Heartwarming Hugs Isn't that adorable? I've already ran it through. And then go ahead and put this on there with your adhesive. And then we're going to do the same step for the second step with our piece of Whisper White. We're going to glue onto that fantastic scallop piece. And now there are two different dies that are in the heart, let me see what, the warm wraps dies. They're called warm wraps dies. And one is a little bit shorter. This is the longest one. You need the longest one to get two on here. So use the longer one. And then you always just have that one little scallop that needs to be cut off. Now, I'm not going to put dimensionals on this yet because we're going to use a ton of glue dots right now. And a bunch, I don't even know how many of these I have cut. Let's divide them up. Let's see, because we got to do top and bottom. And then we have, okay, so we have 3 for the top, 3 for the bottom, and then an extra. And now these are all just going to get cut in half. So cut them all in half or rip them, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter. They just have to be cut. Makes it much easier to make your wreath curve the way you want it to curve. And then one of these pieces goes over here. Doesn't matter if they get squished a little bit because they're going to kind of get squished when you do this anyway. All right, so grab your glue dots and be prepared to use quite a few. Just tell yourself, it's okay. It's okay, I can use these glue dots because you're going to use a lot of them. Now decide which way. I'm going to kind of make my wreath go this way this time. So I'm going to take another glue dot on this end and you're just going to curve it. Okay? Now it doesn't look like anything yet, but you're going to do the same with all your other ones, and you want to make sure your leaves are going in the same direction. And it is easier if you put a glue dot on both ends first, if you can get it on there. And then once you have a few glue dots on here, you can kind of, you're just going to be kind of bending them and sticking them on. And oop, I just put that one on the wrong way. Stick it back around this way, get it on there. Oh my goodness. You would think after doing this today, I would know how to do it, right? You would think. All right, I'm gonna put that one there, and then I'm gonna kind of bend this one a little bit more, just so those leaves, you can see those a little bit extra. Now that I've got some extra glue dot action going on here, I can stick some in here and you can kind of take some of your leaves if you want to and try to poke them through any little holes that you have and kind of fill in, because until you get all of these on here, it kind of looks like a mess. It really does look like a mess. And now if Stampin' Up! Did something different, I'm so proud of them, because this is the only thing I could see that they were using, or that I could think that they were using. Now this one I'm just going to poke in right here. I'm going to try to poke it in right there. Kind of weave it in. Pull it over. Stick it to that other glue dot there. I mean, look from the back, it looks ridiculous. And now that piece didn't stay poked in, so I'm going to have to add another glue dot. You're going to have, I told you, you're going to be using a lot of glue dots. Now, I don't think I need any more for that. Now we're going to do the bottom, and we're going to just kind of do the same thing. It's just a process, a long process. So I'm going to be honest with you. If I was going to make these tags, this is the one I would make right here in the middle. Not that I don't like this one. It's just if I'm making 15 of these tags or something for Christmas, or, you know, as for gifts for coworkers or whatever, I don't want to spend 5 hours making tags. Because I don't have 5 hours to make tags, I guess. Not 15 tags. Now, if I could make 30, 40 in that 5 hours? Sure. All right, so look, it looks so ridiculous until you get more and more in there. So I don't know, have any of you made tags like this and tried to make a wreath? A faux wreath. I put those on the wrong side. I want they are going this way. You have to remember which way your leaves are going, because if they start poking the other way, and I did it earlier, it doesn't look right. You would think you would want the leaves going all different directions because it's a wreath, but if they are going in a wrong direction, it just does not look right. A couple more and I think we will be there. Now don't get me wrong, somebody special is going to totally get these 2 tags. Someone that's going to appreciate it and not throw it away after they open their gift. So probably not my 22-year-old son, because, you know, boys. They're just like, meh, I don't need that. It was from Christmas. I don't want that to stick yet because I want it to go the other way, but I need a little bit right here in the back where you can see those open holes. So this one's going to kind of fill in those holes a little bit. So it's just going to go in the back here. So I'm just going to grab glue dot to hold it down at that end, and a glue dot to hold it down at this end. And I think we're good. I think we have a cute little wreath. We're going to grab some dimensionals and stick this on. Now, the wreath is about as thick as the dimensionals are, so this is not going to be up super high. Now, you could double your dimensionals if you want to. I didn't see any point in doing that, just because I thought it was cute the way it was. All right, let's see what we got. Let's put that on there. And I definitely think I should have cut my designer series paper just a little bit longer for this one because of the wreath, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna add our heart and our star and our Christmas tree the exact same way we did the first one. And we are going to stamp our sentiment again on that petal pink, because it just, I would have never thought to put petal pink with this, but it looks gorgeous, doesn't it? I think it's fantastic. Go ahead and put your tree. You've got your little heart and your star. And then we'll stamp Happy Christmas in real red on here, and then we're gonna fussy cut it out, because that was part of the avid part, was doing that fussy cutting. And I've got dimensional backing stuck to my finger, doesn't want to come off. All right, here we go. All right, super easy. Not a lot of curves and ins and outs on this, so it shouldn't take too long to fussy cut it out, even if you're not an Avid Plus card maker, because you could do this no problem. I mean, that took me no time, right? No time, super easy. All right, let's put that little dimensional, just has a little something on it. So I'm just gonna cut some little strips from the side. And apparently I didn't cut all the way through it. Come on now. You gotta be tougher than the dimensional, right? All right, a couple more strips because you gotta go. I don't know why this one is cutting so funny. It is not cooperating with me. Put one at the put one at this end. Come on now. And one in the center, just so it doesn't sag. You don't want your little tiny sentiment sagging on your tag. Now, I did not put any whisper white on the back of the tags, but you may need to on this one, just because you might not be able to write your sentiment on there because of the embossing. But the other two should be fine. You shouldn't have to worry about it. Add your little Happy Christmas. How cute is that? Then we will grab some Forever Greenery, the vanilla woven trim. And we're gonna tie a little bow around. Probably a big bow because I got lots here. around our box. All right, seriously. Make sure they're the same length before I get started. There we go. All right. Now this trim is super easy to tie. It's so soft. And it really does look pretty once you get it tied in a bow. And it goes great with this designer series paper. You can trim your ends off on an angle. And now, if you have the set and you have some of the gold trim left, which I don't, you can use that. Or you can also use, let me grab my twine. You can use some of the twine because it's just adorable. Grab your tag. You're going to tie it just around this. You don't want to necessarily tie it around the bow, but you can tie it onto your box around. And you can do it in another bow, so you have two bows up here, or you can do it in a knot, whatever you want. I think it looks cute with two bows. And then you have a gorgeous little gift to someone. And it doesn't matter, you can actually push your tied bow over, so then your tag kind of, you know, hangs. And if you would have thought about it, you would have pushed it this way and put your tag on this side so it looked right. But of course I didn't do that. But anyway, there is today's Update Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will make some of these gorgeous tags. If you do not have a demonstrator and you live in the United States, make sure you head over to valeriesmith.stampinup.net to get your supplies. I have my host code for the month. You can also go to stampinwithvalerie.com to look at my blog post. I'll have a blog post about this, probably be up tomorrow or Thursday. Depends on when I get it all typed up. But I appreciate you joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.